Well, James Franklin is out. Does that mean West Virginia swoops in? Several recruits are up for grabs, and West Virginia has made offers to several of them. Let's find out who they were.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers on the football side again, today again, baby. Look, here's what's up. James Franklin's been fired. Don't know if you heard about this. Do you know about this? You heard about this? My best Jay Leno impression. And West Virginia is diving in, swooping in excitedly to pick up some of their players. We're going to detail who they are. But I'm not alone, of course, and we're going to talk with my friend from Mountaineer Moment, the offensive coordinator for Marshall, my friend Troy.
What's going on, brother? Thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it.
What's up, man? I always like to introduce somebody randomly as an offensive coordinator. Jackson Johnson is the offensive coordinator for the Auburn Tigers, so he's pretty good. So, West Virginia is trying to flip a few of these guys from Penn State, and a few of these guys are big-time prospects. We're going to go over who they are really quick so that everybody knows. You've got a corner in Jaziel Hart out of North Cross. He's in Roanoke, right? He's 4-star in some, 3-star in some, 5'11", 170, 109 career tackles, 14 picks in a career, 11 pass breakups, 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumble recoveries. So that's, this is a gritty corner, I think. Excuse me. You've got Isaac Chukwurah, Chukwurah. Chukwurah?
Sounds
right. I don't know. This is another 4-star player, 6'2", 260 pounds, really stout interior disruptor, got really solid quickness off the snap, and he has got a ton of programs after him post-decommitment. You've got David Davis, who is rated right around a 90/89, depending on where you look. Another one of those mixed 3/4 stars, depending on where you look. On 3, I think he's a 4. Rivals, I think he's a 3. So it's one of those. It's a high. It's an 89 rated on 247, literally half a point away from being a 4-star. And so he's also decommitted from Penn State post dismissal. And West Virginia's reached out and offered him. And he is he's got multi-phase potential because he is just an athlete. So he can do a bunch of different things. 5'10", 180, Pittsburgh area. The guy before him is from Bear, Delaware, by the way. And then last but not least, and definitely not least on this one, this is probably the one you want the most, especially in a Zach Alley defense out of Pittsburgh, PA. Out of Mamani Christian Academy, Gabe Jenkins, who is a 2027 kid, decommitted from Penn State in the wake of the Franklin firing as well, and has been contacted by West Virginia and offered yesterday. This kid is a 3-phase playmaker who really has interest from everybody in the country. He's a 4-star, 91 rated. He's 4-star in 247. He's 4-star in the composite. He's 6 feet, 187. And as a sophomore, he had 1,300 rushing yards. He had 6 interceptions as a safety. So, he's got an elite aggression and balance, which makes him a tone setter for sure. I think he's got an NFL caliber safety kind of thing going on where I think he's got a potential to make it into the safety class of like Carl Joseph. Like he's that kind of physical player. Now, will he ever make it that far? I don't know. I apologize. There is one more. Actually, this is the highest rated one. Matt Sieg, Fort Cherry out of McDonald, PA. 2026 safety. He was reopened after the Franklin commitment he's reopened his recruitment after the Franklin firing. That's actually a tongue twister. And he's also a multi-sport phenom. If you look at some of the stuff he did at Fort Cherry, he's led his team to playoff in basketball and football, and he is a 93 rated 4-star, high-end 4-star at 5'11 and a half, 190 pounds. This is an elite player, a sophomore who led the team when 63 touchdowns. They went 10-0. They're 32-4 over his career. He's an elite track guy too. This might be the one that you would want. But I mean, a lot of really good players on this list. And interestingly enough, all defensive players.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this list of players, Troy, and the fact that West Virginia is actually swinging so big and so hard?
Yeah, let's just go get them, man. I'm all for it, and it makes me think. And I might go on a little tangent here, just like with Rich Rod and this season that we're experiencing right now, live, in the moment, makes me think a lot about like how confident really was he heading into this season, knowing what he had. He's been coaching long enough. Obviously, what he's going to say, and he's going to support his team and encourage and say we got a good product that I like. But how much was he looking ahead, even before the Fanklin news and all that, just looking ahead to bringing his own guys rather than just like, all right. Picking and pulling from the portal. But here's another opportunity to go and do something like that for year two, right? As Rich Rod would think ahead toward that. And I like the look of it. I like the aggression that we're proceeding with as we go after some of these guys. And I mean, everybody's going to be jumping on them. And I think, to me, obviously Penn State, big name, huge name program.
Right. If they were committed there, they're good for us, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah, without knowing a ton about a lot of these guys, like, yeah, if they're good for them, they're good for us. We remember Rodney Gallagher a few years ago. Penn State recruited him. But to me, I think the guy that, of the guys that you rattled off that sticks out the most is Gabe Jenkins. I definitely like the sound of another Carl Joseph coming in here to Morgantown. Yeah. And I think overall, again, with even regardless of the season we're currently having, a Rich Rod-led offense, a Zach Alley-led defense is attractive in recruiting. I'm just going to say it. So let's go get him.
Absolutely. And there's actually one more guy. I guess I just didn't see him when I was scrolling through here. I must have went over him. Terry Wiggins, Coatesville area from Coatesville, PA, 2026 decommit from Penn State and was offered by West Virginia as well yesterday. This is one of those edge kind of players. He is also a 4-star, 91 rated in the composite, 6'3", 210 pounds, just an elite stack and shed kind of defensive end. So what I did was as I went through this list, and I've been rushing today, I spent an hour and spent about 10 or 15 minutes on each one of these guys and just kind of looked through a few different highlight tapes, just trying to get an idea for what they do. So nowhere near completed products, but I mean, their grades are what their grades are. And I had made some notes by them, but so, yeah, I remember this guy for sure. He is just a twitchy, insane linebacker. Matter of fact, I wonder if I could pull him up really quick, because there was one I wanted to pull up. It was Jenkins and it was Wiggins. I'm going to pull up Wiggins first. So, this dude can really go, man. And I'm a fan. As you guys will see here right before the break, Troy and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about here, because obviously you can see here he's got the Penn State committed. Let's check out a couple of plays by him, as you'll be very impressed by what he has to show. Here he is. Big number 10, strip, stack, and taking it in, which the camera didn't do us any favors on that play.
Nice little scoop there.
Yeah, nice little scoop there, though. I think he has some other plays on right here, if I can remember right. Yeah, right here. So there's also this play. Nice play off the edge, right? I mean, just a great tackle.
I think Zach Alley would like that.
Yeah, Zach Alley would definitely like that. There was a couple of the flashier ones that I saw that I was looking for. But I mean, this kid's 6'3", so there's a multitude of things you can do with him, obviously.
Yep.
Oh, this is him at the running back spot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As you can see, super athlete, right? I mean, he's huge, 6'3", 210 back here. And maybe you would play him at running back. I'm not necessarily saying you couldn't.
Yeah,
I mean, you can see
let's
he's
get him
got
down
some
to
talent.
Orlando in a couple days.
Huh?
Let's just get him down to Orlando in a couple days, man.
Yeah, let's take him to Orlando with us, which we will be talking about that next. But yeah, this kid can really go, man. I really like what he's showing, so far. So anyways, that's him. And then we'll look at Gabe Jenkins as well. So I don't think I'm following him yet, am I? Yeah, I am. Okay. So, Gabe Jenkins, obviously another area. And this thing about these guys is they're all really close to West Virginia, right?
Yep.
They can't tackle him. He literally goes 107, 106 yards here. Just an incredible play. And you see the elite speed.
Yep.
Or very good speed. Sometimes I throw elite out too often, but what an incredible play. I mean, see, if you're gonna pin a highlight on your account, this is the one, right?
Yeah.
Like that's an incredible play. Yeah. So and I think he also plays some quarterback for him, or one of them does. Good Lord. I mean, just look at that. Sometimes it's like, do you want these guys as receivers?
Yeah,
I would not want to be a coach and have to decide like who plays receiver, who doesn't.
Can you imagine?
It'd be hard, man, especially once you get like maybe a guy's a 4-star receiver, but he's a 5-star defensive back, right?
Yeah,
it's like he'd probably be both
or something like that too.
Huh?
Maybe you're at a team that needs a receiver, then it's a hard decision.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Here he is again. I mean, obviously he's got great ability with the ball in his hands. Holy cow. That was impressive.
Oh, is that Derrick Henry?
Truck stick. Boom. Oh. I mean, goodness gracious.
He just did that for fun.
Boom. No chance. That's what you've got. Listen, give me him out of everybody we talked about. I ain't even seen the other guys yet. But, I mean, that kind of physicality can't really be taught, Oh, here he is again. Man, he's in the backfield again on this play. Or no, he's on defense.
4th and 10. Campbell fires.
There he's in the backfield playing safety. And his size and strength.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably somebody you bring in and play at that, in my opinion. If I'm Zach Alley, I bring this guy in and I sell him on the Danny Stutzman linebacker role.
Amazing. 95.
Potentially. Maybe you keep him at safety. Maybe you do. Or maybe you put him at the where Fred Perry is and have him play there.
See that.
But like that Danny Stutzman linebacker was the best player on that Oklahoma defense. Just something to think about. But yeah, West Virginia obviously is going after some big time cats here in high school ranks, which if you're going to build it through high school, I do think because you don't have time to develop guys like you used to,
yep.
you got to swing bigger, more developed players. You can't go after, unfortunately. And I hate this. I mean, maybe you get one or two here and there, but like Owen Schmidt stories are going to be fewer and further between because this is the world we live in for college football now. And Owen Smith, is there any room for him on your roster to even take the chance of this walk-on from Wisconsin or from whatever school he was from there at D3? So, frustrating, but at the same time understandable. So if the timeline is expedited, then fine. Go after these kind of players, and I'm all for that.
100% agree.
Let's go to the break here. I want to ask Troy about the game coming up Saturday. Obviously, the UCF game is very important. How important? Is it the biggest game in Rich Rod's tenure so far, including Pitt? I can say maybe, and I'll tell you why after the break. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our good friends. And I'm telling you what, I somehow lost the ad reads. I accidentally, whenever I clicked out of X just now, I somehow clicked out of those at the same time. So hold on one second here. Oh, gosh. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends at Mazda. And I should have known it was going to be Mazda anyway, right? When it comes to Mazda, it's a pretty simple thing that delivers confidence with every ride. There's more IHS top safety picks than anyone else as of August 2025. And after all, we do craft cars for those who will do more than simply move. The all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV is what you want because you can drive with confidence through almost any season. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Today with Mazda, where you can move and be moved. And of course, where would we be without our good friends at Peloton? And look, Peloton's another good one because it's shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ, their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors. And it's training reimagined, if you can imagine that. Peloton built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, and reach peak performance. There is a personalized class recommendations to keep you engaged. You get workouts tailored to your own vibe and energy level each week even. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward and explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. Back with Troy from Mountaineer Moment in segment 2. And I'm going to crack a water, dude. Listen, man, no judgment-free zone here. I'm trying to drink a lot more water and less dew, but I ain't happy about it.
I can understand why you might be a little frustrated by that, but I get it.
I got the caffeine headaches, man. Okay, so West Virginia UCF this game Saturday. Let me pitch it to you like this. Said this on a couple shows this week. This is probably the biggest measuring stick game of the season, because UCF is in year one of their build. You're in one of your build. You're both retreads. There's a lot of similarities. You brought in, you both programs brought in a lot of players. I think UCF brought closer to 60, and we brought closer to 80 in, but yet and still, they're a little bit ahead because they only needed, I'm thinking 60, but more. Let's just see how many players they brought in real quick, because I'm pretty sure it's a lot. How many players does UCF football bring in transfer portal? Okay, it says, way less than I thought. 40 players, so actually less. Okay. So that's probably not counting high school though. So 60 is probably the right number, right? So if you got 15, it's 55, whatever. But
yep.
Do you think that's fair? Because obviously the injuries hit everybody, right? But I think we've been hit worse than most. Do you think this will be a true measuring stick game for the Mountaineers in football because of the situations I just outlined?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I've been saying. I haven't used that terminology, but that's what I've been saying on Mountaineer Moment, man. This is an opportunity. You come off a bye week. There's a lot of talk second half of the season, we have a chance to hit the reset button, fresh start, all that. But yeah, this is a team in your class right now, right? Do we like being in the same class as UCF football? No, not really.
We don't.
But they're 0-3 in conference play after they had a 3-0 start. You're 0-3 in conference play. And, the Mountaineers, especially the last couple of weeks that we saw them play against Utah at home and BYU on the road, we didn't go into those games, unfortunately, feeling particularly confident. You can go up against a UCF team and let's play well, right? Let's come out second half of the season off the bye week. They're struggling too, and it is a measuring stick. I think this tells us who we are for real, whereas the last couple of games, we kind of knew where we were against them.
Right, against the better teams in the league. Or as Bob Huggins would say it, leg in the leg.
That's pretty
good. They don't play in our league. You ever remember him saying that?
Yeah.
Well, they don't play in our league. Yeah, I'm with you. I think obviously taking a look at UCF, they over or under 7 quarterbacks at a play between the two teams.
Did you read my article over at Hail WV? I think
I didn't, man. I'm sorry. You should have tagged me.
I know, man. That's you're stealing my notes or something. I don't know, but that's what I said. I didn't say 7.5, but they
Did you
got
really say that?
I do an article every week on over-unders for every game, just like kind of fun ones like that. And I think I put it at 3.5 or 4.5 for total quarterbacks because they got a situation going on themselves.
Yeah, they've got 3 guys.
I know. It's wild. It's
Probably
wild.
just actually, I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of a logical conclusion to draw, really, because both teams have played so many quarterbacks. It's, you know, but that is funny that I stole you notes without knowing it. Oh gosh.
So yeah,
Okay.
dude, I don't know. I mean, that's there. I think I did put the line at 3.5, and I said I would take the over.
Well, I mean, between both teams this year, like, what's the number?
I'm talking 3.5 for that game Saturday.
Oh, gotcha.
What would you do with that? What would you do with that? Because I think we're a lock for 2.
For the game,
We're a lock for 2. Do they get to 2?
I don't know. I think we'll play 2 for sure, like you said. Depends on how Fancher does, I guess. I'm going to say we make him play more than 1. I'm going to say they end up playing 2 as well, potentially 3. I was never a big Fancher guy when he was at Marshall, personally. I mean, he had some good games while he was there and all that, but I think there's a reason he didn't follow up to Southern Miss, right?
Right.
Maybe it's because UCF's a better gig, and it is, but it's not like he went there to be the starter. I don't know. Let's look a little bit more about them. So, and I'll show you my notes really quick. Like, I was all over the multiple quarterback thing, which probably a lot of people will be, but like, that's the first thing I have written down is quarterback carousel. So obviously we know about Fancher, who transferred in from Marshall. He did quarterback them to some big wins. I think he was a quarterback for the Notre Dame win, right? So, he does have some of that pedigree in him where you don't want to overlook him at all. Obviously, Taven Jackson is a really interesting with the Indiana transfer. Surprised he didn't stay there, but he's banged up, so that's probably not going to be their guy. And he is, for me, the most dangerous one. And then Ja'Cory Brown, who obviously is a redshirt freshman, also dual threat. They all, like Rich Rod said, they all run the same offense, no matter who's in there. But they're all dangerous. Even Fancher's dangerous. He had 108 yards last game.
He sure did on the ground. Yeah.
So, this is going to be an interesting one. You got to give the quarterback edge to them, I think. I mean, with how young we are and beat up and everything. But I tell you what, man, I'd still probably take either one of our guys over all their guys. On paper, you give them the edge, but I like our guys a little bit in this one. I think somebody's going to break out this week. Somebody is.
This is the opportunity for someone to do it because, I mean, again, walking into BYU with the redshirt freshman quarterback on a Friday night in Provo. Not ideal. And now you have an opportunity, again, like we already addressed, someone that's more on your level and to see how we really measure up. I noticed, I don't know if it was a reliable source that I looked at, but with Taven Jackson, coming into Cincinnati week, he was listed as questionable. On the final injury report, he wasn't listed, and then he didn't play.
Wow.
I don't know what what they're saying about him right now this week, but
could be a similar situation that's going around the country right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're just not saying out loud. I mean, I don't want to speculate too much, obviously, because I don't know, but that's kind of strange.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then, Ja'Cory, he was game time decision, I think. Obviously, he didn't go either. But while they're using multiple quarterbacks, the Mountaineers are the team that's using multiple quarterbacks every game, right? We didn't see that last week. It was a one-man show for them last week. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I would just like to see one guy take off and run, right? That's what we need. Whether that's Scotty or Khalil, we need to figure out who the future is. I think that's what these next 6 games are about for Rich Rod and company. I mean, you're still going to play for undefeated the rest of the way and try to get to a bowl game and all that, and I get that. But I think the second biggest priority you have is, well, I mean, maybe you want to play some of your younger O-linemen as well to see what you have there, just to see if you need to – because if you have to blow up the O-line and move on after this year, because you're losing a lot of guys anyway.
Yeah.
If you're not going to trust Robbie Martin and company to grow into roles next year, they need to know now, right? So I think you got to give them some shots down the stretch here to see if they have it in game, if they have the – obviously physically they may not be there yet, and they can work on that this offseason. Like they might get beat heads up because they're not strong enough yet or whatever yet, technique-wise. But, I mean, is the want to there? Is that strain that they talk about there? Like those things that you can only really measure in a game. So you got to start working some guys in, and it's a mind towards next year. And I know that's really almost impossible for Rich Rod. Maybe a couple games from now he'll get there. Same with the quarterbacks, right? I think number one, O-line, number two, quarterbacks. And you've got to get either Scotty or Khalil in there to figure out if they're the future. Because let's just be honest, man. I mean, Jalen's season is not looking too good.
Right.
And he seems like he's not going to be able to play again. I hate it for them all. I do. Yeah. I hate it for them all, Nico included. So running backs are interesting in this game too, really quick. Miles Montgomery, obviously, he's a Big 12's fifth leading rusher. He's got 434 yards on 86 carries, which is way more than he's had in any season. Mm-hmm. He has faced 11 defender boxes at times this year. If you go look on tape. So he is dangerous as hell get out. If you haven't seen Miles Montgomery play yet, is he as dangerous as Harvey was last year? I don't know about that.
Right.
But, man, he's a good player.
Obviously, his workload's gone up.
Yes. UCF's a better run defense than us by 7 yards, so it's pretty even. Both struggle versus mobile quarterbacks. It's like we're mirror images of each other in a lot of ways. And then, obviously, our secondary, which has been vulnerable here in recent games. But that's not what they do. They don't throw it a lot right now. Yeah. So it's kind of the perfect opponent for us to get right with, to be honest. So I think what we'll do after the break here is – and this is a game West Virginia's won since we've been to the Big 12. We haven't lost to them but one time. So out of 5 games. So, I don't anticipate that changing. We should at least maintain superiority over them, hopefully, and some other programs. But after the break, I want to ask Troy about his game keys. I need 3, even though he just found that out while we're talking.
Got him.
Got him. And then prediction and some other things we'll go over after the break. All right, guys, this episode of Locked on West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our friends at Wayfair. And with Wayfair, it's another one of those really cool deals because the holidays are actually going to be here before we all know it. I mean, it's already Halloween time, and it feels like Halloween outside, which is getting exciting. But your home, is it ready for guests and celebrations? Because that can feel like a lot. Maybe your serveware needs a refresh. Or how about the guest room with some new bedding? Well, Wayfair has everything you need to get your home holiday ready. From Christmas trees and wreaths to bedding and cookware and outdoor inflatables, it's your one-stop shop for every room in the house. Wayfair makes it easy to prioritize and personalize your home for holidays with a huge selection for every style and budget. And with free and easy delivery, even for the big stuff, you can get everything you need without the taste of a huge delivery fees. Delivery is fast and it's free. It can be a lifesaver, especially during the busy times of year. So get organized, get refreshed, and get ready for the holidays for way less. And head to wayfair.com to shop all things home. That's WAIFAIR, Wayfair. Every style, every home. And let's continue to talk about our good friends at Supply House. It's Supply House. We like Supply House. Actually, we've lost Supply House. We've lost the plot here somehow. So we're back with Troy. We're back with Troy. Welcome back in, brother.
Let's go.
It's segment 3. Guys, appreciate you so much for being here. I really want to thank you all for all the support you've given to the show over the last couple of weeks, but we got to give some to our friend here Troy at Mountaineer Moment. Where else can they find you, man? Is that it? Just Mountaineer Moment?
Yeah, Mountaineer Moment podcast covering WVU football and basketball on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and just love doing it. We have several episodes a week dropping throughout football season as far as pregame coverage, and then we hop on right after the game and give you the postgame thoughts and analysis there too. And recently on Mountaineer Moment just dropped the first ever basketball episode breaking down that new look roster. So go check that one out too.
Nice, man. We love that new look roster. Absolutely.
I'm pumped.
I'm working on getting Harlan Obiaha on the show, guys, by the way. That was something I was working on right before the show. Hopefully we can get it done. I mean, I don't want to make any promises yet, but if we get him on, maybe Troy can come hang out and talk to him with us if it works out schedule-wise. But, yeah, I'd love to get Harlan on the show and talk with him. I think after his video of, kind of showing those leadership qualities that we like the other day, or at least that I like. You know what I said? I said, he's the kind of guy that it's almost like the older dad. It's like, quit yelling at me or quit talking to me, Dad. Like, that kind of energy where it's like, it's motivating, really motivating, but it's like, he's got to be that guy for the glue guy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, cause guys like that motivate players even when maybe they don't feel like it. You know what I mean? So sometimes they seem like the enemy. I guess that's what I'm saying. Not enemy's a bad word, but like they can be the bad guy in certain situations. Like if I'm being lazy, the glue guy might come up to me and say, no, you're going to run this lap or whatever. So I need some keys, brother. What do you think about this game? I mean, it's off the top of your head. I've been trying to give you time to make sure you got that going.
Ready, baby.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm intrigued by this game. I think it's big measuring stick. We've talked about that. If I could give you three things that would be a key to a Mountaineer victory, and I think this is a game they can win despite recent struggles. Number one, we've already talked about it, is going to be West Virginia's defense against these UCF running backs. Miles Montgomery, you mentioned what he's done in production this year. He's seventh in the Big 12 in carries this year. But they got another guy who I don't know a ton about, Jaden Nixon. All he's done in his 25 carries is 11.6 yards a carry. That's impressive. He's been good in Big 12 play too. I mean, he had some of that's inflated. He had 4 carries for 156 against NCA&T. Nuts. But he's ripped off a 54-yard carry, a 46-yard carry against Kansas State and Kansas. And just 14 carries over 3 weeks of Big 12 play for him. But I mean, the kid can play too.
I'm sure their fans probably want him to have more carries.
I'd say you got to keep an eye on him to go along with Montgomery. So I think that's a key. We talked about it already. I mean, this isn't a team that's throwing the ball all over the field, but they're a team that can run the ball well and effectively. And you got to keep an eye on those two guys when you can. I think a key for West Virginia offensively, secondly, would be and I've been saying it, and I don't know the solution, but you got to find a way to get these playmakers the football. With how banged up we are at quarterback and running back, I still think. I mean, you've talked. I remember when I was on here last time, you talked about the skill level of Cam Vaughn and just how good he is. He can play anywhere. I still believe in Rodney Gallagher and what he can do with the ball in his hands. And the problem that they're having is much less their ability, but much more they're not getting the football. Exactly. You got to find a way. So my hope out of the bye week is that Rich Rod and all his genius offensively is like, okay, we know now it's Khalil and Scotty. We know what we got. How am I going to get these guys the ball? And so the inverse of that is also true, right? If Cam Vaughn comes out and has 2 catches for 19 yards, I don't think we're winning this football game.
Right. Yeah, those are great keys, bro. Yeah, great keys. Did you have another one?
I'll give you one more. Okay. Lastly, I think this is less of a key, more of a, I guess, wishful thinking, man. I want to see Rich absolutely mix it up. You talked about it last segment, offensive line, and, you have to set yourself up to know what you got for next year. Right. And that should and can start right now. Let's mix it up. I want to watch a game Saturday and be like, wait, who just caught the ball? Because I haven't seen him all year, and all over the field, offense, defense. Let's mix it up and let's see what we really got for 2026. So that's my keys. Let's really just, because what we've seen ain't working, especially up front. let's give the young guys a shot. And then again, like you said too, I thought it was an excellent point. That gives you your knowledge for next season to know, okay, we really got to hit the portal hard in this area. We really got to go find a quarterback or whatever it's going to be. You got to set yourself up. And I think you can do that even on the road against UCF.
Yeah. Are you a Khalil or Scotty guy? Have you made that choice yet? I mean, obviously, I think you can go either way depending, but, you know, I think, like I've said over and over this year, if we had a good offensive line, it'd probably be Khalil. But I just wonder, like, and once again, it's almost like in the fourth quarter games during garbage time, we see these guys play well. It's happened in 4 or 5 different games now, right? Yeah. Like we saw it first with Jalen in Kansas, right? Yep. He played well in the fourth quarter, and we're like, okay, we need him to start next week. Yep. And then come the next week, he plays like crap. Scotty Fox comes in for a minute and plays well. You know, like we got other guys playing well. We're like, we need to see him next week.
And then Khalil threw a touchdown against Utah.
And then Khalil threw a touchdown against Utah. Or no, it was the inverse. You're right. It was Khalil who had those rushing yards. And we're like, man, he needs to start next week. And then he plays and starts against BYU. And then now Scotty Fox comes in the fourth quarter and throws a touchdown and looks really good, throws a couple balls. Now I'm like, he needs to start next week. Yep. So, you know, it's like, what in the hell, man? You know,
I'm just glad we're going through it together because that's my reaction too, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's listen, like I said, I'm not, I mean, you're the offensive coordinator. I'm just, no,
I don't know what I don't know that I take a side between Khalil and Scotty. I do know that I take a side that it needs to be those two guys. Yeah. I was encouraged by what Rodriguez said on Tuesday. You know, he said, I'll just read the quote. He said, the 2 young guys have been taking more reps, which is good for them. Every rep they can take is going to help them with their growth. And I would like to see that, again, like I just said, across the whole field. Let's get these young guys the action. And I think, you know, I could obviously see both sides. I could see, all right, well, we kind of threw Khalil into the fire against BYU. You know, let's give him another shot to start against UCF, who's more on your level. But I could also see, you know what, let's give Scotty a shot too. I think, and I agree with you to an extent of like, okay, by the end of the season, hopefully we can say, all right, one of these guys needs to be the guy. Right. But I think they both deserve a shot to prove that over these 6 games.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I guess just, you know, I don't know if you want to say conventional wisdom, but like for me, my brain goes to this. We can't run the ball, at least so far, against teams that are average or better.
Yep.
And Pitt's turned out to be pretty good, you know, and we were only able to they're good, I guess. I mean, they're at least average. I guess that's the best way to and the only way we were able to run it against them was Ty. Well, here in Ty's not going to play. So what's that mean now for the running game? Because it's pretty hampered. And maybe a guy like, you know, somebody mentioned yesterday, you know, there are some guys that haven't played in that running back room yet this year, like Cannon Katzer. You know, can he come into the game and make an impact maybe and break some tackles at the line of scrimmage like we need? Because if not, I don't know how somebody convinces me otherwise that Scotty shouldn't be the guy, because I have a few questions about Khalil's ability to throw certain passes. Like he can throw it deep, great. But I mean, if you looked even on the bubble pass or on the screen outside he threw last week, it was like he had to take 2 or 3 steps over to get to it. His accuracy's not quite there yet. Now the deep ball to Cam Vaughn was excellent. Should have been caught. But, you know, I mean, that's typically normal for a quarterback at his age, is like, you know, they're really good with the deep balls. It's, you know, it's the layering in and the touch, you know, much like a guy that can shoot 3-pointers but can't shoot free throws, right? It's the same kind of thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, that's my thought process behind why I say Scotty, where I lean Scotty. But I'm also acknowledging that, like, Khalil gives us a great chance to win with his ability to make people miss and things, but it's definitely not an ideal situation. You know, that's for sure. Because Pat White could throw it. That's the thing. Like, I don't think people forget it necessarily, but I don't think people realize how good he can throw. He got drafted in the second round for a reason. Like, he could sling it around. He threw for almost 350 yards his last game of his career versus North Carolina. So by the way, Hakeem Nicks, that catch he made in that game,
Oh my gosh,
still so good, wasn't it?
that dude was a monster.
Yeah, he was good for 4 or 5 years in the league.
Yeah.
In the league. Oh man, Mountaineer moment, Troy. Appreciate you for jumping on, brother.
Heck yeah, man, I appreciate it. Always a privilege, always a pleasure, and I'm excited to see what Mountaineers can do this Saturday. I will say, if I'm going to give a prediction, I'm going to say coming out the bye week, we're going to get the job done, and I'm going 27-24 ears, and the reason for that 27 is because that's the exact number, average number that UCF has given up through 3 conference games so far. They've given up 27 points a game. I think we're going to hit that mark.
Nice. I like it. I'll take it. I'm gonna say, we're going on the road. I've picked us in every game this year, every single game. I'm just gonna pick against us for once. I have to. At some point, I have to realize that it's just we're so beat up everywhere. We're coming off the bye. We should have an advantage. But I'm just going to pick us. I'm going to pick UCF in this game. I guess my confidence is lost a little bit here.
Understandable.
Who knows, man? We'll see. But for those that are asking, or avid hunter, you're asking if I'm okay. Yeah, I'm fine, man. I have a sleep apnea, so sometimes I do have issues staying awake. But I didn't think I was falling asleep or anything on camera, but I was drinking some water definitely to try to keep myself more alert. But yeah, I don't have a CPAP machine, so unfortunately I'm still waiting on that. But yeah, and I'm also in the midst of losing weight, so hopefully that'll help. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm fine. I just sleep apnea is it's debilitating. Like I didn't even know, but I want to get off track here. But yeah, it's definitely crushing my life. That's why I'm losing weight. So otherwise, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Troy, I can't thank you enough for being here. Kind of short notice today. Really enjoy having you on, man. I enjoy your insights. You do a great job in Mountaineer Moment. I didn't read your article from earlier about all this, but it is funny that we lined up on a couple of things, so I guess there's just only so many talking points about this specific game to be had. But
yeah.
To me, that means you're a genius, obviously. Why would you have come up with those things?
Yeah, dude, heck yeah. No, I appreciate it. It's good. It's always good to be here, and love what you do on this show. So
thanks, man. All right, guys, we're going to jump out. Be back here in a little bit. I told you guys I've got 3 or 4 videos planned for today, so I'm going to keep pumping them out. But we'll be back here in a couple hours, so I'm going to take a little bit of break, and we'll see what happens. But until then, make sure you go to Mountaineer Moment. Find him on X at Mountaineer Moment as well. And I'm always at Paul Mountaineer. By the way, we're like a couple hundred subs away from 7,000, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. Because we started this journey a year ago at a little over 3, maybe. So we've grown almost 4,000 subscribers. It's pretty wild to think about, but it's not without you guys, man. All right, let's get out of here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. For Troy, for myself, we're out of here, but don't always forget, man. You got to cue them country roads. Bye.